So what we're doing here is we're just simply going to remove this lug nut cap, or the hubcap. Then we're going to grab our star bar, find the correct size, and take off these lug nuts. Doing so is fairly simple, doesn't require a whole lot of strength. All you really want to do at this point, because we have not jacked up the car, is we just want to loosen the lugs to make it a lot easier to take the tire off once we do raise the vehicle. So again, you'll note there are 5 lugs for this particular vehicle. Some vehicles have more, some vehicles have less. And at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and raise our vehicle. Using a scissor jack, we can manually tighten the vehicle, or manually tighten it until it gets to the point where we need a mechanical intervention to assist in raising and lowering the vehicle. The vehicle's parking brake is already on. Now we don't need to go very high because the scissor jack in of itself is a very unstable jack. We just need it high enough to remove the tire. From the ground. So it turns out one of my neighbors is going to help me out and let me borrow one of his jacks instead of using this scissor jack, which is absolutely horrible to use in any situation. But you use what you have when you have it available. So, if at all possible, make friends with your neighbors to borrow some equipment that you may be lacking. In the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to identify some parts of the tire. Okay, so notice here we have our tire size. So this is a 225, and this is measured in millimeters. Then we have our tire aspect ratio, and then we have what it's made out of, if it's belted, bias, or radial. And then we have the actual tire size, which is 17 inches. So the rim is a 17-inch rim with a radial tire with a 45 aspect ratio, which is basically this piece right here. Okay, so our friend in a apartment across the way from us has let us use his jack, and as you can see, we've properly jacked up the vehicle, and we have the scissor jack as a backup, just in case this jack fails, because you never trust the jack as far as you can throw it. And at this point, I will go ahead and take off the tire. Okay, now that our tire is off, we can clearly see the wear bars here, 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 and here. And what we're going to do is we're going to measure those. Now the quick and easy way to do that is just a simple visual inspection and kind of estimate what the wear life is. Now here you can see I have a high wall and a low level of tread bar. Then it gradually gets shorter and shorter as we get to the inside of the tire. Now this could be due to improper rotation, or it could be due to high-speed turns, wearing the inside or outside, and then we call that feathering, when one side is worn versus a universal. Or it could be overinflated if it's in the center, where the center part is wearing faster than everything else. Or it could be that it's underinflated, and that's where the outside walls are uniformly wearing away faster than the center. Now if it's even across, then you have prior tire inflation and you have proper wear. Now what we're looking at is the front brake caliper. And since the tire is off, we just want to do a quick visual inspection of the brakes. And how we do that is we look right here and we look over here. The rotor sits in the middle of the brake pads, and notice that right where my finger is, there is a slice within the brake pad, and that is a wear indicator bar. And what you do is simply take a visual look, and if the wear indicator is worn out, basically where you don't see that gap anymore, then it's time to change your brakes. If you continue to see the gap, then you would ballpark it based on percentage of life, 10%, 50%, 90%, etc. In this case, the brakes look very well and hardly worn at all, as they should be for a vehicle with 30,000 miles. Notice the wear of the rotor. It is uniform. There's no deep grooving or gouging or tears to indicate that the rotor is out of alignment or out of balance. So all in all, this looks fairly decent. Replace our simulated flat tire. In order to do so, we're just going to reverse the steps that we've already done prior. Now, it's incredibly important to notice that the lug nuts are a one-piece assembly. Normally it's just a thread, so it's just a bolt, and not the head and the bolt together. So in this particular situation, it is absolutely critical that you do not cross-thread the lug nut to the lug panel. Otherwise, you're in a world of hurt. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to, because it's in a star pattern as it is right now, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the top one, and we're going to just manually tighten this down, just like so. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go from this one, this top one, all the way down, and we're going to drop down to this one here. Then we're going to bring it back up to number 3, then number 4, and then number 5. Now ideally what you want to do is have a torque wrench and torque it down to the manufacturer's specifications. I currently don't have a torque wrench. It's not going to kill the vehicle, it's not going to hurt the vehicle. However, you just get the best possible wear and tear if everything is torqued down to manufacturer's specifications. So again, it's important to just look at the pattern and alternate it, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's all set. Then you're just going to put your hubcap back on and you're done. Thank you for watching.